all new, brand new Jamesary show, y'all. We're broadcasting live right here, right now from Dallas, Texas. And we want to send a special shout out to everybody that's out there that's doing something productive to put them a little bit closer towards their hopes and their dreams. It is now showtime, y'all. And shout out to the band, man. Show the band some love by leaving the number 8 in the chat section, It is now showtime, y'all. And we want to thank y'all for tuning in for another segment of the all-new, brand new Jamesary show where we talk about things that are not just bothering me, but we also talk about things that are bothering you. And on tonight's show, man, on tonight's show, we're going to be talking about a gentleman that was fired from his job making this man was making almost $300,000 a year, and he was fired from his job because he did the right thing. I want y'all to take a look at this clip.
Right now, we are not allowed, and they will sometimes pay the seed. Now we do fencing with something so that no one can go out.
You're listening to an audio recording from inside an Indian shrimp processing plant that supplies U.S. grocers like Walmart, Aldi, and ShopRite. An employee apparently discussing how migrant workers are prevented from leaving without permission.
Our supervisor, contractor, will insist that, okay, you stay here for 1 month. Next month, we will send you back. But after 1 month, they will stay. They didn't forget that they want to go home.
This recording and a trove of other videos, company emails, and documents are the subject of a new federal whistleblower complaint reviewed by NBC News into food safety and labor concerns.
Y'all imagine that. A whistleblower telling the truth about what they're doing to the food that we consume on a daily basis. Man, imagine that.
At a prominent shrimp importer. On average, Americans eat a whopping 6 pounds of shrimp a year.
And to be honest with you, they're saying 6 pounds. I actually think that, we actually consume more than 6 pounds, because 6 pounds is really not a whole lot. And you're talking about, a family of 5. I think they can eat a little bit more than that.
About 90% of that shrimp comes from overseas, and India is our biggest supplier.
Y'all pay attention to these numbers here. 90% comes from India. But y'all wait and y'all listen to this.
Indian shrimp industry has grown so significantly in the past decade, and yet no one was really looking at what was going on behind the scenes.
Ali Brudney co-wrote a new report from the nonprofit Corporate Accountability Lab, alleging labor violations are widespread across India's farmed shrimp industry, and that sustainability certifications don't mean much.
We found that companies are exploiting a pretty vulnerable migrant population, and that these workers are engaged in really hazardous work all the time. All of the basic labor laws that you expect are in existence, and yet there's just very little oversight.
And when
ain't nobody even paying attention to or watching the food that we consume. Now we eat 90% of this, y'all. Imagine that.
When it comes to the shrimp you eat, experts say antibiotic use is not uncommon in Indian shrimp farming. The drugs are sometimes used to fight disease, but that can lead to antibiotic-resistant infections, and the practice is largely banned by the FDA.
Unbelievable, y'all. They done banned this by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, but they are still using these antibiotics in the shrimp that we're consuming. We're consuming 90% of it, y'all. Unbelievable.
Only 1% of America's shrimp imports were inspected.
1%. Now we're talking about some like piss poor averages here, y'all. Now this is kind of like, y'all. So it's kind of like you out driving in your vehicle every day, right? You get in your car and you get on the street and you're on the way to work, and nobody on the street is obeying the traffic signs, the traffic laws, the red lights, the green light. Everybody, 1%, okay? 1% of the people are paying attention to the signs. I mean, what is this? What are they doing? These averages are piss poor. Who does that? And who are the people that we are electing and putting in office, in order for them to continue to do? I'm laughing, y'all, but this is pretty sad, okay? It's pretty freaking sad, but, this is what they're doing.
Last year, and most of the shipments that were turned away because of antibiotics were from India. Compare that to Europe, where they inspect 50% of
50% being inspected. The averages are so much better. I take 50% of anything any day over just 1%. This is unbelievable.
Indian shrimp imports.
You would think this is a safe product. I should be eating this. And it's not the case at all.
Josh Farinella says he saw labor and food safety abuses firsthand.
The perfunctory.
He got a high-paying job with a company called Choice Canning last fall.
High paying, y'all. That's a little bit way above average right there. $300,000 a year, y'all. But take a look at this.
General manager of one of their shrimp processing plants in India. For Farinella, who had spent the last 8 years in the seafood industry, it should have been a dream job. But after just a few months, he filed a whistleblower complaint to U.S. regulators.
You walked away from making $300,000 a year. Why?
Because this story needs to be told.
Farinella says his records are proof that the company was underpaying some of its workers, using unregulated off-site peeling sheds to keep up with demand and selling shrimp.
They ain't none of it. Nobody in there got no PPE on. No PPE nowhere up in there. But these are the shrimp that we're eating on a daily basis. Listen, I was talking to somebody, one of my friends the other day, and they told me, they said that they don't eat shrimp. And I was like, man, why would you not eat shrimp? Shrimp, man, it's like I thought shrimp was one of the best meals you can ever have. If you added some shrimp to it, you was doing something, right? But she said, hey, I don't eat no shrimp. And after watching this video, I know exactly why. I may not even eat another shrimp a day in my life.
Tainted with antibiotics banned by the FDA. Last month, federal lawmakers requested evidence in response to Farinella's complaint.
So there's a nice factory that is inspected and that regulators see. But the reality you're saying is there are these off-site hidden sheds. What are the conditions at these sheds?
They're open air sheds. The
open air. You meaning to tell me that ain't no covering on top of it? Anything that's in the air right now is in these shrimp that we eating. Scrimps that we eat. 90% we eat ain't no cover shed on it. The people ain't wearing proper PPE, but we eating all these shrimps from India. I'm going to share with y'all something that I would do from this day forward if you were going to be purchasing shrimp.
The workers that are in there don't have any of the standard protective equipment that
I just said that. You can look at them and tell no PPE nowhere.
A production worker in a real factory would be wearing. These workers are in their street clothes.
In one text
street clothes, y'all.
message, Farinella asks an executive what to do about a batch of shrimp for a U.S. supermarket that allegedly tested positive for antibiotics. The executive responds, ship it.
Ship it. I don't care who dies. I don't care who eats it. I don't care at all. I need to make all the money in the world. And I'm not really concerned about your health, your mama health, your family. I'm not concerned with nobody else. What I need you to do is, y'all see it, ship it.
I asked a senior member of management, well, why are we getting antibiotic shrimp if we're only purchasing these products from certified farms? And the reply was, we don't use any of those farms. We only buy from unregistered farms.
Do you think these companies are taking advantage?
Wait a minute, y'all. Man, this man said the only way they're gonna buy is if the farms are unregistered. Man, this is unbelievable, man. Now, this is not something that I made up, so y'all don't get mad at me. But this is the facts. And my man's here that lost his job making $300,000 a year because he did the right thing. Now, I want to ask y'all, if you're making $300,000 a year and this is how you take care of your family, your responsibilities, your obligations, I mean, how many of y'all really gonna be a whistleblower and just screw up what you got going on? Because how many of y'all gonna do that? I mean, I just want y'all to leave a comment in the comment section and, just let me know. And here in a second, we're going to be opening up the live segment of the all new, brand new Jamesary show. Well, again, we talk about things that are not just bothering me, but we talk about things that are also bothering you. I haven't found a platform to where is it we can discuss those things. And that's why I've created this show, the all new, brand new Jamesary show.
advantage of the fact that regulators in the US aren't testing as much as Europe?
Unquestionably.
Farinella's records also appear to show workers resting in overcrowded rooms, some working with little time off.
People are
Sleeping on the floor and everything. There ain't nothing right about this. It's just a lot of red flags on here, y'all. We're going to be talking about those here in a little bit, y'all.
sleeping on floors. Mattresses are dirty, they're torn, bed bugs were an issue.
From
Bed bugs.
the food safety issues to the labor conditions, you believe management at the highest levels of Choice Canning is well aware of what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with him 100%. Oh, they know.
Choice Canning declined our request for an on-camera interview, but categorically denied wrongdoing, saying in part that it has never shipped antibiotic-positive shrimp to U.S. customers. It has maintained a spotless record with regulators, that it would never underpay its employees who are free to come and go as they please, and they are treated with dignity and respect.
You got employees sleeping on the floor. I don't see no dignity and I don't see no respect in that either. How many of y'all want to sleep on the floor? Man, unbelievable, y'all. Unbelievable.
And that Farinella lacks credibility because of his criminal record.
All right. So, you know, I know a couple of people that are in HR, man. Shout out to my people that are in the HR segment of this world right now. And, you know, there's a background, some call it background check that you do when you hire people in higher up position. Y'all know it. But for whatever reason, though, this gentleman was hired and they already knew that he had some DWIs and he had already been arrested or some things. But again, we're not judging him because, again, we've all got some things that we've been through. We've all got some scabs on our back. We all got some things that we are just not so necessarily proud of what we did, but we made a conscious decision to change not only us, but then we also changed the way that we think. But this gentleman,
Farinella had a series of DUI and felony theft convictions in his 20s and 30s, including for burglary, writing bad checks, and identity theft, but said he turned his life around a decade ago and is taking significant risk by speaking out now.
I'm unemployed with a wife, 2 kids, 2 dogs, and plenty of bills.
wife, kids, the dogs, everybody over there finna be over there hungry because the man did the right thing. Unbelievable.
Even if I'm lucky enough to not be blackballed from the seafood industry, I'm still looking at a annual paycheck that's far less than half of what I was making.
Now I sympathize with you on that, but you know, because you have the complexion for the connection, you finna get a book deal out of this one right here. So don't worry, just relax. You'll be all right.
What is it that you hope will happen as a result of your complaint?
Change, both for the conditions that people have to work in overseas and awareness for the consumer to know that what they're eating is safe.
Rudney says when it comes to shrimp farmed overseas, ultimately, that's up to U.S. grocers.
They all have these codes of conduct that talk about not having forced labor, ensuring payment of minimum wage, abiding by labor laws. Then they need to make sure that those are actually being followed.
We reached out to the U.S. supermarkets that Choice Canning sells to. Walmart and Aldi told us they are investigating Farinella's claims, and they expect their suppliers to adhere to FDA standards and to treat workers fairly.
All right, y'all. So thank you, Kurt. We're going to cut it right there. Listen, Walmart, Aldi's. Now, these are all big box brands that we have all shopped in. I was in Walmart earlier today. I can tell you, I ain't getting no shrimp, but I was in Walmart. And all of these big box brands that we are familiar with, can you just imagine that a lot of them are purchasing shrimp from that very small, piss poor percentage of shrimp that they've been inspected. And so again, y'all, now is the time of the show to where we open up the show, the live segment of the show for, anyone that wants to come up and speak on this topic and share their thoughts on it, because I've already shared with you mine, but I'm sure that, and just knowing this gentleman that they fired, if you really look into it and think about it, now, number one, they already knew that he had a criminal background. They knew that already before, he was hired. Number two, the fact that they're gonna even let him get the job, and then number three, y'all, they're gonna fire him. They knew exactly what if you ask me, I think they knew exactly what they were doing from the beginning. Mr. Farinelli, he was the scapegoat. Mr. Farinelli was the person that we're gonna pay you, real good for you to take this, because when it all comes out and everything hit the fan, you got to take the blame for it, and it's $300,000. But they didn't tell him that up front. So again, these are my thoughts. My last thing I need to tell you guys is that if you're ever inside of Walmart, Aldi's, or one of the other stores that they name, don't buy their shrimp. And if you decide that you just got a shrimp fix, you got a shrimp fix that you need to fix, and you want to be dealing in some fishy business, then read the back of the labels on the shrimp, and then it'll let you know that whether or not that if it came from India or not. But again, man, shout out to all the Eagles. Shout out to everybody that's out there that's doing something productive to put them a little bit closer to their hopes and their dreams. This is the all new, brand new Jamesary show, where we talk about things that are bothering you. And now we're going to open up the lines. We're going to put the link in the description, y'all, because if this is bothering me, I know it's got to be bothering somebody. It has to be bothering somebody. And I just want to hear what you say. I want to hear what you got to say about it. The fact that, 1% of the shrimp is coming from India has been inspected, and it's got some antibiotics in it that could harm you. So I want to hear what y'all got to say. I'm going to go ahead and put the link here in the description now. Caller number one. I know it's got to be somebody out there that's got some things that's bothering them. Caller number one. Don't be scared, as they say. Caller number one. Yeah, that's right, Billy. 90% of the shrimp. 90% of the shrimp that we consume, it comes from India, and we eat it like it's going out of style, like ain't gonna be no more shrimp. And they got open ceilings. The people are not wearing the proper PPE. Man, people over there fixing our shrimp that we eat, this 90%. Man, they over there sleeping on the floor. I mean, this is unbelievable, man. Now, this is not something that I made up. Y'all already seen it, but I want to hear what y'all got to say. And if we don't have any callers that are coming up for tonight, listen, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the all new, brand new Jamesary show, where we discuss things that are bothering you. We discuss scams that are going on. I'm a licensed general contractor, and my goal is to make sure that, as I'm a professional in my industry, then I want to make sure that I share some things with you guys that I know through my experience of being in the industry for well over 15 years. And if we don't have any caller for tonight, listen, we want to thank y'all for tuning in for the all new, brand new Jamesary show. And don't forget that Jesus loves you, and so do I. Good night.